Hello folks and welcome to day 30 of the what's called the November Speed Material Challenge that I've been doing. It's finally come, the last day of the challenge. It's here. It's both a relief and I'll be a bit sad to see it go as well. It's been great fun to do every day. Some days have not been as fun because I find that art and creativity and stuff like this, if you're not in the mood for, isn't fun to force, if that makes sense. So that's why there's been a few days where I've not streamed. I've just done the work in drips and drabs throughout the day, or in a little time in between other stuff. But yeah, it's been nice. So I've not streamed the past 3 days. I've just been busy, unfortunately. It's a busy week this week. But I'll show you what I did for the prompts that we missed. So you didn't see glitch or branching or fractal. So I'll show you them now. So for glitch, I made this one. It's sort of a weird glitchy TV kind of situation. It's kind of hard to decide what to do for glitch really, but it's fun to experiment. Oh, I need to check my audio as well. Just a second, I forgot about this. That's a video of me singing Imagination. Okay, not what I intended, not gonna lie. Not exactly the plan I had in mind. But hopefully we'll go and hear me live now instead of singing last week. Live now instead of singing. Yeah, there we go. That's the one. That's the fella. That's the same Baldy I'm talking about. That's the fella. Oh god, there's a mirror effect. Okay, so yeah, that was glitch, and then this was branching, which it's not technically a branching pattern, but when I typed in branching into Google, I got some different reference out, and I just really like this little graph. There's something about it that really appealed to me, so I just thought I'll recreate that one for one, and it was nice. It was a nice little thing to do, and then the next day, which was yesterday, which I did today, was fractal, which is this one. I don't like the results much, but it is what it is. I was just going for this kind of feel to it, I'm trying to do quick ones at the moment, so today's is no exception. Today is day 30, which is illusion, which is going to be, I'll put it in full screen. I'm going to do something like one of these, I think. I'm thinking one of these three really. But yeah, it's not going to be super long today, I don't think, because I'm not going to lie, I just smashed a Domino's and I'm wiped. My energy is not here whatsoever right now. And yeah, also I've got other stuff I need to do. I've got stuff in my mind. I don't want to focus loads today, so I'm going to set 2 hours on the clock, but we're probably not going to take 2 hours. I'm sorry if it's a bit of a disappointment or whatnot, but there's no point in forcing stuff, is there? So 2 hours on the clock starting now. Alright, let's do this. I say we try and let's quickly make this one. We might make more than one if we get time, because this won't take long at all, I don't think. Let's try and make this little grid here with the dots. So the illusion here is that this dot, as you look away, the dots disappear elsewhere. So it's a pretty cool little illusion, isn't it? So let's try and recreate this, see how we can do this. Let's get an edge detect. Let's get a checker. We're going to make the checkers bigger, like that. Okay. And there we have lines, so let's just fix that. Solid lines, a bit thicker. Okay, and then we can use a gradient map to change the colour of these. I think that should work. So if I set the black to be this grey, and then I'll set the white to be black. Yeah, we're already well underway. So now I can use the same checker. I can probably use edge detect again actually. It gives us like a rounded result in the middle, didn't it? If I use that and then I put that through a blur. We did something similar to this the other day for our Epcot ball. Let's just see if we can do this. If I blur that up and get a histogram scan, then I can sharpen the blur. And then I can use the blur even more to try and create it into more of a round shape. Increase the contrast to make it sharper. There we go. And now if I blend them together, well, I'll want to make this the right colour first. So get a gradient, set the balls to be white. I think they're white. I'll just eyedropper it. There you go. Yeah, white. And then we're just going to put that there, set it to max lighting. And there we go, just like that, it actually works. Awesome. That was a nice surprise. That was what, 3 minutes? We can't, obviously not going to stop the stream after 3 minutes. That's just one. But we can do a few of these. Let's see how we get on with it. Let's just adjust this circle size first. So how have you guys been whilst not been here anyway? Have you been well? I hope you have. It'd be nice if you've been well. I am looking forward to tomorrow, because tomorrow is December. Already in December. That means Christmas is almost upon us, and I love Christmas. It's going to be a weird one this year, not being with family and stuff, but that's okay. I think it's for the greater good. We'll be together again one day. To quote the lady used to sing to the soldiers, we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. No, it's worth. Oh, sorry, it's worth the wait to see everybody. Plus, I mean, I kind of like not seeing people for ages because I feel like it makes them miss you more. If that makes sense. I know it sounds bad, but like, I don't know. I think it's nicer when you see people with longer gaps in between rather than seeing them all the time. Yeah, I think seeing people all the time is kind of, it's not bad for relationships, but it just kind of, it doesn't help you appreciate them as much, if that makes sense. Whereas if you don't see them very often, you appreciate them a lot more. Right, let me show you this in full size. Whoa, what did I do? Didn't mean to do that. Oh, you didn't mean to do that, or you did not mean to do that. Oh, Jesus. I hate when I mess my docs up. Right, I wanted this in full screen. So you guys can see that illusion is working. Wherever you look, the dots disappear. That's pretty funky. That's one illusion down. Let's see if we can get some more going on. There we go. We're back to reality, folks. We got it restored. Just about. That was a moment, wasn't it? We almost screwed that up then. Alright, so one illusion down. And we'll do something with this at the end. I don't know what yet, but one illusion done. So, let's try something else. Let's try this one. This one's interesting. I think we can do this with, if we get a stripes. What we'll do, yeah, shift, turn that off. Okay, I feel like if we get the stripes, we set this to a directional warp. Actually, this can be what's in the background of it. I'm going to rotate it. And then I'm going to use a tile generator. Which I don't normally use, but we'll give it a go. Could always go to sample if I don't like it. And we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It says 9. Let's do 8 because we're doing a square. So let's do 8. 8 bars going along. So we want the Y to be 8, X to be 1. And we want the size to be full. I hate the way you get the kind of flared edge there. Instead of brick, set it to square. And then reduce the scale slightly. And then increase the scale just on the... oh, we can't do that, can we? Let me just fix that a second. If I grab a transform 2D, scale it out. Now a tile sampler would let you scale them on individual axes, but this doesn't. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to get that. We're going to use the flood fill node. Wait, no we're not. We're going to go to the tile generator and we're going to say random grayscale. Random... Where is it? Luminance random. Now this will give us different grayscale values that we can use, which will control the damage that is done basically by these directions. Now don't worry about the lines because they're going to be overwritten by the grey lines. Actually, they've got like grey boxes around them, haven't they? Let me just try something a second. Edge detect. So just testing something. So let's give this something like that. I don't think this one's going to work too well, but let's give it a try. It's what we're here for, isn't it? And then we're going to blend on top of that. Yep, going to get the results of this. But I'm going to set the roughness. I'm going to set the luminance random to off, so it's all white, black and white. Duplicate this so that we've got the same width and stuff. Put that there, and I'm going to use a gradient again. I'm going to set the black to be grey. So just pick that colour from there. And then if we set this to max lighting, that should, not max lighting, to add. No, wait, what am I doing? Copy. There we go. Now, that's almost working, but not as well. I think it's because it's square instead of being rectangular. But I also think it might have to do with the grey boxes. So we can fix that. First of all, I want to change how many stripes there are here. It's currently 6. I mean, I'm no mathematician, but that's not 6. Let's try that. That works a bit better. Now let's thin the lines out a bit. Can we do that on this? Yes, we can. Okay, cool. Like I said, I don't use tile generator. I use the tile sampler all the time. So, yeah, just faffing with things. Right, minus 0.07. We can do that. So we go up here. Same thing. Minus 0.07. And then they match up again. It's like magic. That's working a bit better now. We're getting some wonky action going on now, which is good. Now this part works well, and then here it sort of falls apart because it's kind of straight. So let's see if we can adjust the randomness of this luminance. Let's use histogram shift, and that will just make sure that we can adjust kind of what it's doing with them grayscales. See, it moves it all the way up the spectrum. Was that my phone? That was weird noise. Yeah, it was. Okay, that's not too far off. But actually, instead of histogram shift, just see, how does this look if I just put it back to what it was? Okay, yeah, same thing, just moved over slightly. Let's try histogram range. And then we can hopefully control how strong and weak the values are that we're giving it. So we want to give it full range. It's got black to white, but then we can change the position so that it's got a little bit less extremity to it, if that makes sense. That's just doing the same thing again, isn't it? Not to worry. Okay, either way, I think that's working. But let's just try and get the grey lines on this anyway, whilst we're here. So, in order to do that, we can go to... I believe we can go to edge detect here. Yeah. And we're going to get this. We're going to duplicate this gradient map so that we're getting the same grey value. I'm just going to do the same thing here. Put it there. And then we're just going to mask. Yeah, we're good. We're just going to mask off where it's used. There we go. So we've recreated that image. And it should make it look so that it's like... Oh yeah, there you go. It looks angled from a distance. So if you zoom out, it looks like it's all jaunty. I quite like that. It's funky. So that's 2 down. Let's see if we can get another 1 or 2 out. I don't want it to be over really quickly, but at the same time, there's not much we can do for illusion, is there? I'm not feeling very creative thinky right now. I know it's a cop-out. I know it's the last day. It should be exciting. But if your heart's not in it, it's not in it. You should never force it. Right, so there's that. And then move this over here. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, okie dokie. Let's do this. So that's 2 down. Let's save before we lose everything. Right. Now what can the third one be? I quite like this one, but I don't think we can do this one without a pixel processor, and I'm not really comfortable using pixel processors. I've not done it a whole lot. Actually, I've not done it at all, I don't think, pixel processor. So the idea of this is that the kind of the highlight, the shadow, and the circle rotates a little each time as it goes along the line, and that makes it so that when you look around the image, it kind of sways. But we can't really do that without manually rotating it each time. I don't think you can do that without a pixel processor. You can set the thing to rotate, but it'll do it all as one go. It won't do it per piece. So I don't think we can do that one. This one's interesting, but I'm almost certain we can't do that one. Unless we had like an inverted rhombus normal map. Which I don't think we do. So it leaves us with these two. So there's this one, and then there's this one. This one's quite cool. We can give this one a go. Might be able to give this one a go. I'm just trying to think how we'd do that. It's a weird one, isn't it? Out of interest, let's just have a quick look at something, shall we? Let's go. Let's get the old stripes out again. Let's keep it on a diagonal for a sec. I want to see what happens if we go to Cartesian to polar. Okay, so that gives us the classic stripe, the classic swirl. What we want is the straight line swirl situation. So if we rotate this, we get circles. Or we get a tighter swirl. Now if we get this and we create a square from it, and then feed that into the Cartesian to polar, what would it do? That's what I want to know. It's very curious. Very curious indeed. Let's see what happens if we use one of the corner mirrors on this. I thought there was an angled mirror for this one. Apparently not. Okay, that's pretty cool. So what happens if you feed that into this? Ooh, that's interesting. Very interesting. Yes, it's fun to just experiment sometimes, just to see what happens. Ooh. Hey, there's some cool shapes. I quite like that. Huh. Now I get a fractal shape. I was trying for ages before to get that. You know what? I quite like that as its own result. That looks like some of the things I was seeing. So I'm going to keep that as its own thing. Just a little 3-node one. Sometimes it just looks cool as it is, you know what I mean? So let's keep experimenting, shall we, folks? Let's keep experimenting. So I want to get a I want to see what happens if I get a shape. If I feed this into... I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to try something out in a second. I want to get a splatter circular. Set this to be image input. 2 patterns. This pattern and this pattern. And then can we... Actually, does the splatter work? You know, I don't think I've ever used the splatter node on its own. Have I? Maybe I have. I wonder if this would allow me to sort of stack them. Because I've never tried that. Can you have more than one pattern? I'm not seeing more than one. Okay, I guess it's more just designed for one shape. That's interesting. It's quite different to the other nodes. Ooh. Well, that's nice. Look at that. Yeah, I like that. I'm definitely going to be using that for some future stuff. Look at that. It's really nice. Like a little Celtic kind of pattern. Fortunately, it's not useful for what we need right now, but it would be nice in the future. I'm just curious. Let's go on a tangent for a second. I want to see what happens if I plug this into a flip fill. Let's invert it first so that we've got the solid parts. And flood fill to grayscale. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That'd be handy for like a mosaic tile floor or something. Different height adjustments. It's cool. I like that. So what did I do there? Put a square frame into a splatter node and rotated it. You couldn't ask for much more than that, could you? I'm definitely going to look into the splatter node more. It's got some nice results. Learn something new every day, folks. You're never too old to learn something new. Disorder. Okay. Grid number. Oh, it's just like a zoom level, but it has a zoom level as well. Cool. Disorder angle. Oh, that's cool. You can add size variation to it. Very funky indeed. Okay, anyway, yeah, sorry. I'll stop playing with that now. I'm definitely going to use that again in the future. In fact, I'm going to leave that connected somewhere, I think, just to remind myself what that is. I'll save that into my experimental graph. I have a graph where if I'm tinkering with stuff and I like how it's looking, I'll go put it in an experiment graph and just play with it at some point. That's pretty funky. It's not what I was after, but it's pretty funky. Went a bit washed there. It's not what I was after. It's not what I was after. No, that's wrong. Sorry, people of Wales. Told you I'm sleepy. Okay, I'm not getting the results I want here. I want to... Let's see a second. Oh, I just made Pac-Man by accident. Fair enough. If I use polar to Cartesian, will that really... It gives like an interesting look to it. Look at that, that's funky, isn't it? And out of interest, if I then feed that into a splatter circular, what does that do? It's pretty funky, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute. If I set this to 1. Wait, no, not 1. If I just plug that in here. Okay, it's currently set to to connect them, which I don't want to do right now. But if I do this, I set this to 1. Is there a way of offsetting it so that they're all from the same starting point? Yeah, like that. Okay, and then I can change the spread. No, not the spread. The scale by what is the scale by pattern number? Ah, scale by ring number. There we go. So we can change the overall scale to make it much bigger, like 5. Okay, let's make this edge on this a bit thinner. This is an interesting little method, isn't it? I like experimenting like this just to see what happens. Sometimes you end up with things you weren't expecting. So we'll get this. We'll try and get this to a decent bit that we like. Okay, gonna have to scale this up a lot first. Radius. No. Whoa, that's cool. That's a really cool effect. Ooh. Is that an illusion? I'm going to call that an illusion. It looks 3D, doesn't it? Like looks like a tunnel. Alright. We're going through a few different illusion phases today, just experimenting with stuff. Sometimes you get happy little accidents like that. It's like, what the heck is going on? Okay, so radius, random, no. Ooh. Okay, spread doesn't seem to matter in this particular instance. Okay, now we're cooking. So now as we've got that, we can put the pattern up more, the ring amount. Let's just make this a bit smaller so it hopefully works out a bit better. We can scale by pattern number. That should hopefully help. Made that too thin, haven't I? We want the line about the same distance as the gap. Same width, I mean, sorry. So if we put scale by ring number on full, that's what we want. And then we can increase the ring amount again, I think. Set this like 20 or something. 15 maybe. Then we can adjust that slider to make sure it's just a little bit different. I mean, I like what it's doing. It's not exactly what I'm after, but I do like what it's doing. So out of interest now, if we set this, if we use the Cartesian to polar on this, wow, that's an interesting effect, isn't it? And if we transform that, what does it do? It's mad what you can do, isn't it? Just playing around with stuff. That's not the effect we want, obviously, but it's a cool little effect. So let's see, can we rotate this as we're going along? So rotate, because this isn't really designed for doing things stacked on top of each other. It's designed for doing things in a circular pattern. So we might run into some issues doing this stuff, but let's just see how we get on. Ooh. pretty funky, isn't it? It kind of gives like an illusion of 3D poppedness. It's obviously not right, but it's interesting, and that's what matters sometimes. Very interesting indeed. Let's just adjust this scale by ring number. Look at that, completely mess it up. That's so cool. Okay, that's kind of funky, isn't it? It's not exactly what I was after, but it's got the same kind of effect to it. Yeah, you know, it's not perfect, but I think I'm going to leave that one as it is. I quite like it. Let's just save and give it a quick little tweak just before we leave it alone. I want to see how it looks with a few more pieces in it. So you just go solid at the edges, and I don't want that. So set this back to 15 like it was. Yeah, 15 just looks nice, I think. Okay, so that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 so far, just from black and white images. So I say we do one more. I know that'll be a really quick stream, but honestly, illusion, there's not much to there's not much to go off. Let's try this guy. It's going to be a bit of a pain, I think, but let's just try it. Again, Splatter Circle is going to get quite the workout today. No energy today. Right, so we want a pattern input of 2. Going to do the same thing. I'm actually going to steal this square as a starting point. Gradient map, plug this in. I'm actually going to make the white part of this transparent. I'm going to keep the black frame as it is, and then for this one I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to keep the black part transparent. And this should hopefully just make things a little bit easier for us further down the line. Oh, set these both to grayscale, can't forget that. Don't want to be goofing that up, do we? Okay, Splatter Circular. So got this, and then this hasn't taken into account the alpha. Awesome. Let's do an alpha thing on this to tell it to use it. Color, background color. No. What a pain. Okay, that's fine. We can just force the same background color, I guess. So if we get a uniform color, it's just a medium grey that we want, so set this to mid grey. Come on, slow computer. Grayscale, there we go. Okay, so now instead of using the alpha on this, I'm going to set this to just be the mid-grey. So with the same as the background. There we go, there's that. And then that should look okay on this. Yeah. And then this one, we're going to do the same thing. Instead of the black being just completely transparent, it's going to be mid-grey. It's a hacky little workaround, but you know what? We don't really mind tonight, do we? We're having fun. We're experimenting. We're just playing about, doing a goof. Interesting that isn't showing up whatsoever, though. I wonder where that is. I wonder if Splatter Cycler colour would support the alpha stuff. I'm assuming so. Sorry about that noise, folks. I don't know what it is. Okay, so set these to both be colour. And the background to be that one. Okay, that works for some reason, so okay, cool. Let's ditch that. I'll stick with this one. So, out of interest, let's quickly see if the alpha thing works on this. With it being the colour, it should support it. Hey, beautiful. Right, there's that. And then, what has this done now? Has it done something weird? No, it's worked. Okay, cool. Right, so let's make some adjustments to this, shall we? So the idea of this is that you're meant to have these shapes alternating in concentric circles, and that gives the illusion that they're kind of in a cool, kind of almost a helix kind of shape. Not helix, I forget what the word is. Basically, we have these, and we have them. They're smaller, so let's adjust that first. And then we're gonna have them slightly angled, and then repeating in rings. And then I think we're gonna stop after that one, because that'll be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll be the 6th pattern that we've made already. So I think 6 is enough. There's no point just ploughing through stuff just to keep a stream going, is there? It's not enjoyable for anybody. Right, so let's change the scale to about half of what it was. Make the thickness of this a bit more. Okay, that's about cool. And then we can go and adjust how many are there, the pattern amount, and that'll fill a gap in between. I'm going to keep it even so that they alternate. 26 seems okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go to angle, rotation. Going to rotate each one of them just a bit. That seems about right. It's not perfect, but it looks about right. Actually, it looks like they alternate. Each one of the rings alternates the angle that it's rotating, so that might be a problem. But let's find out. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 rings. So we can go and adjust the ring number to 5. Set the spread. Is it the spread or radius? Set the radius up. Well, that's not going exactly as planned. So let's see, is it scale by pattern number? No, they should all be the same scale. They should just have a difference between them. So let's go and find a way of adjusting that. As 26 works well for the pattern number. Ring amount. Okay, what did I change? I've messed something up here. I wonder, is there a way of controlling the distance between each part of the pattern? I wonder. I don't know if there is, you know. Maybe we can do one ring and then duplicate it, you know, kind of. It's not ideal, but it might work. Because I'm not seeing anything for adjusting per ring, if that makes sense. Ow. Let me see. If I just reduce this down to 1, the ring number, where is it? Okay, so I'll do these individually, I think. So instead of 26, let's try 42. That looks about right for the outer one. Then we'll duplicate this. Blend these together. I want to see if I'm not used to blending them together as colours. Add sub might be best for this, I'm not sure. Let me just check. So we're going to change the radius of this second ring. Yeah, add sub works. And then we want to just adjust the amount that's in here because it gets less each time. And it also flips the angle. So if we reduce this to, let's see, 38, 32 maybe. Yeah, 32. And then we're going to make the angle the opposite. So instead of 26 degrees, we're going to make it minus 26 degrees. That's the one. Okay. And let's just keep doing this. This will get us the result that we're after. Okay, and then change same thing again. Get this. We're going to change the radius of this down to about there. Change the pattern amount to what, 16. 18. 22. Let's try 22. And then we flip the angle that it's on. See, we're trying to get a similar kind of consistent gap between them as we go through. So yeah, the angle that this is on, again, we're just going to flip the angle. So instead of minus 26, this one's going to be 26. And the idea being that they're opposites. And then, so that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's so hard to deal with optical illusions when you're trying to count them. Yeah, so we need to fit 2 more in here. Bless you, wifey. Right, so 2 more. She's a sneezing champion, that woman. She never does it in 1. It's always 2 or 3. Okay, so reduce the radius of this one again. We only have room for 4, don't we? It's because we're using bigger squares. That's okay. Change the pattern amount. This one might be 8, 10. Yeah, 10 looks right. And then change the rotation again. Minus 26. This in the reference, this is slightly blurry, and I don't know if that's because it helps with the illusion, or if that's just the quality of the image. But let's just give it a slight blur just to see. Of course, it's not a grayscale image, even though it is. Let's just do this. Yeah, I think that's working. It's got like kind of like a spirally, like it's an optical illusion. You can't quite see where the circles are properly. Oh, that's weird. I don't like that. Okay, right. So that is pattern number 6. So I think 6 patterns is enough for playing with the theme, isn't it? So let's just get these ready. So let's see what we got, folks. Let's have a look-see. So we have got our first one, the moving dots. Ooh, magic. Our second one, the slopey slopes that aren't really slopey slopes. Ooh, magic. Then we've got this cool thing. Ooh, dizzy dizzy. You're getting very sleepy. I know. And then we've got this one, the 3D tunnel of power. But this one, this spirally 3D twisted pyramid shaped thing. And finally this one, the how many rings are in this ring? I can't tell. Picture. So that's it, folks. So we can go and give ourselves the final tick. It's been a long time coming. I'm sad to see it go, but I'm also looking forward to getting some more, not serious work, but like as in some more personal growth work going on. This has been a great experiment. Oof. This has been a real good eye-opener to try and maintain consistency with something and to experiment, have fun experiment like we did tonight. We played about, we got good tonight with some stuff. So next time I stream will probably be next Monday, but I'm not certain yet. I've got a very busy day on Monday, so it might not happen, but keep an eye out. If I'm streaming, we're most likely going to be back in the library scene, giving that some work because it needs work. So yeah, I think that's us, folks. So thank you very, very much for watching. I really appreciate those who've watched all these as well. There's a lot to go through. You can catch up, if you've missed any, you can catch up on my YouTube page, which is Chris Into 3D. If you just search YouTube for that, you'll find it. All the ones that I've streamed are backed up on there. And there's also a talk on there that I gave at Bolton Uni last year. And there may be some future talks in there as well, so tutorials and things. I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to plan everything out. But thank you very, very much for watching, folks. It's been a great time. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye now.